Welcome back to Array Block once again. So in the last video we talked about variables and data type in C. But what if you want a value that never change or fixed value that you use directly in your program? Or maybe you have wondered why you can't name your variable int or return. So in today's video we'll learn about constant, literals and keyword in C. The three very important basics of every programmer must know. So let's start with the constant in a C. So first I'll create a file that is I will name test.c or constant or const.c, right? As we are learning constant, literals and keywords, right? So first topic is constant. So a constant is a variable whose value cannot be changed once it's defined. Once it's defined means suppose you have defined something, this is a class, so you cannot change it to the ground, you cannot name it to a school. So once it defined, it is a class, then it is a class. Like you cannot change it basically. So once you define a class, once you define a variable, you cannot change it. So constant are basically read only. So so we'll see like how we can do define it and how we can use it in our code. So I'll write a program and we can see it has tag include. As we know this, what it does, stdio dot h, then int main, and then starting parenthesis and close parenthesis. Now we are declaring const float pi equals to 3.14159 and then semicolon. What we'll do, we'll print printf and then we'll print pi equals to percentile f forward slash n and then comma, the variable name is pi and then semicolon, right? And then what we do, return 0, return 0, right? So this is what we have to do. We have to gcc, then let's run it. Const const dot c hyphen o const. You created in a, like, we compile it. Now it's time to run. Hello, oh sorry, const dot c, oh sorry, see, so the value is 3.1459 is declared, right? Let's redefine it. So what if I want pi equals to something 2 point something something and then this, and make it int, right? Int or yeah, and you want to so what you have to do, we have to compile it again. See, so the problem is here we have declared the pi as a constant and we are again declaring it the same pi variable is 2.147. That's why it is giving a compile error. It means you cannot change the value once you declare as a constant. Now let's remove the pi and let's rerun it again. So it's compile and you have to run it. So we can see, here we go. So we'll get the values. So we cannot change the value once we declare as a constant. So now let's move to the next topic, literals. So what about value that you write directly in your code? Those values are called literals. For example, I'll write here, we have declared int age equals to 25. So here I'll comment it here. So here 25 is literal, right? And then what we can do, I'll just copy it and paste it here, and then it is percentile d, and yeah, and then it's not pi, it's age equals to right? So what we'll do, clear it and we'll compile it again and we'll run it again. See, so we'll get is 25. So here 25 is literal, and it could be any kind of literal. Like I'll write it here as a comment. See, float pi equals to, it could be 3.14 is a literal, char grade equals to a. So a is a character literal, and here 3.14 is a floating literal. Forgot semicolon here. So basically there are various kind of literal, integer literal, that could be 10, minus 99, 0. Floating literal, that could be 3.14, 0.10, 2.54. Character literal, it could be your name, it could be anything, it could be C programming. String literal, you can write your hello. C programming, you can write Germany, you can write Australia, you can write India. So these are the literal basically. There are various kind of literals, but for now we are just exploring this kind of literals. Now let's move to the next topic, that is keyword. So keyword are basically reserved keyword in C that have a special meaning to the compiler. Special meaning means it is predefined. It is written by the who build the compiler, who build the C programming language. You cannot use for your own purpose, or you cannot use them as a variable names. For example, word like int. So you cannot use int to do any kind of computation or any kind of this thing without declaring a variable. It could be return, it could be while, if, for loop, switch case. There are various kind of like break, continue. Like C has a like almost 32 keywords defined by the standard. So if like for example, I'll tell you. So for example, like suppose you're trying to declare a variable that is int if equals to 10. Oh, let me write inside the function. So this will give error. See, so you cannot do this. So you cannot declare. If you want, like you can use return, you cannot do this. This will also give an error. So basically these are the keywords. So keyword you cannot use it. So in this video we'll learn constant, that value never changed. Like you define using the word using the keyword constant, literal or fixed value written directly in your code. You define your name, any kind of like floating variable, floating literals or integer literals. Keyword are reserved keyword, there are 32 in totals. You cannot use them as an identifier. So these three things, like if you understand, your program are more structure and error free. So in this video we'll learn about the constant literal keywords, and in the next video we'll explore input and output in C, learning how to take user input with the using scanf and display result with the printf. That's when your program became truly interactive. So if you found this video helpful, hit the like button, subscribe for more tutorials, and drop a comment telling me your favorite literals, integer, float or strings. Thank you. See you in the next video.